everyone, welcome to Geekonomics. Happy Juneteenth to everyone out there in the video land. I don't even know what you would call this land, streaming land, but whatever it is. Anyways, we're here, we're back, and we're here to talk all things nerd going on in the world today. How are you doing, Brian? How's things? I know you're very fragile, so we're gonna be very careful with you.
This is my Death Stranding t-shirt.
Okay. I have no idea what that is, so.
Video game.
Oh.
Doing well, Mark.
You kids in your video games.
Yeah, doing well. I have today off.
Yes, because in Mass, it's Juneteenth is an actual holiday.
It's a federal holiday for everyone, but not every state has officially signed off on it.
Yes.
Connecticut starts next year.
Yes, so I get next year. I'll have today off.
Yeah, but it is a federal holiday.
So working, I'm in the office.
Now, I think it's fantastic with Juneteenth and that the president signed off to make it a federal holiday. But this makes me realize
Ryan's opinions do not.
No, hold on. Let me speak. Jesus Christ. What I'm saying is it proves how easy a president can make Election Day a federal holiday.
Yes.
For some strange reason, no matter what, it won't happen. It boggles my effing mind. Because
there's a certain selection of the political spectrum that does not want Joe public having access to voting.
But what I'm saying is Joe Biden could make that a federal holiday, just like he made Juneteenth a federal holiday.
Yeah.
I don't understand.
Actually, he had to go through Congress, then he had to sign off on it.
I just don't understand. Just go forth and try to make this a federal holiday. That's the one day I would want to be a federal holiday. I don't know.
Make things so much easier.
It would for a lot of people.
Yeah.
Anyway, like I said, I'm happy. I'm not
at my place. They do give a PTO allotment of no matter if you have time left or not, to even like non-salaried employees, 4 hours of PTO time that you can take to go vote. So that's like, I think a lot of companies are using that now as a thing. Like you can take time off without any repercussions to go vote.
Yeah. Well, not all employers are like that.
No, what I'm saying, but I think that's like an initiative, at least that's in the works for a lot of places.
Yeah. But I'm happy that Juneteenth it's been a holiday this is the second year, I believe.
Yes.
Last year was the first year.
I will admit, I will be a big enough person to admit I didn't know anything about Juneteenth until that Watchmen show was on HBO. Well, and they had a thing about the Juneteenth. The story of what that was.
Yeah, I think a lot of people didn't know because we didn't learn it in history class.
Yeah, no, yeah.
But I think it's a great thing. I know Enfield had a thing on the town green.
Yes, they did it
yesterday.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The Ujima African American. I'm gonna mess up their name, but it's Ujima something.
Yeah, really cool.
The organization that put it together. They one of the ladies that volunteers here, and they do a show, the Ministries of Love and Hope. She's a part of that organization, and she was telling me all about what they had planned and everything. So
that's cool.
They had a community calendar up promoting it and everything for months now.
Yeah, nice.
Yeah. I think there was also this past weekend, Pride at the Mall event. I think was last weekend. You don't
want to have anything at the mall.
They actually like had a whole, because they used the mall. They used like a portion of the mall as like they used to have like, you remember we did the Girl Scout thing?
Yes.
They had it at that same location. They had like a stage and everything, and had like a drag competition and a whole bunch of different events going on.
That mall is so dead. I would be so afraid to use it for anything.
Well, I guess that's kind of what it's like oddly turning into, is like a convention space. Because like I know that there's like a big shoe trade show going on there.
They had a home show there a couple months ago.
And the home show's there now. And I know that there's like a bunch of car shows that are going on there. and there's a car like competition going on in the parking lot. And I know like they're doing like the carnival in the parking lot there still. So I think that's like not a terrible idea to kind of like convert that into a convention space because it's big enough to hold conventions in.
It just can't keep the store in there.
No, but you can use it like stores could be in there and be like the places that people visit during their conventions.
But there's no stores to visit other than Target.
No, but you have the bigger spaces that you can convert into a convention.
Yeah, totally.
Like if you like think about like if we go to any of these comic shows or any of those like even Terrificon, like that space, you could turn like the old G Fox area, the old Sears area into a convention space and just rent it out and just have your conventions in those places. That's like,
they could.
Plenty of parking.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
We just came up with a whole idea to save them all, everybody.
Look at that.
You can feel free to use that. We won't even charge you for it.
Well, no, we're charging you.
Oh, we're charging you, but I mean, we're going to be nice.
Free movie tickets.
Yes.
Give us free movie tickets
for life.
Yeah, for life. We're good.
To not the Enfield movie theater, but the West Springfield movie theater.
We are seeing Thor in West Springfield, which I'm excited for Thor.
So technically it works. We can just not go to that movie theater, but you know.
We got our tickets. I mean, those tickets were going quick on Thursday opening night.
That was quite the experience getting tickets for that.
I just use the Cinemark app and I get them into.
But it's always like it's more of this discussion of getting the tickets than actual getting of the tickets.
Oh yeah.
Who's gonna handle this person's ticket? Is this person gonna come? Who's coming? Who's having to bring people to come with them to go to the?
Well, John's bringing Hutzel, so that's good.
Yeah,
we're all driving ourselves, and I'm excited that we haven't seen the last Marvel movie. A group of us went to was Black Widow. Like we saw
that was the Agawam.
Yeah, that was the Agawam theater. And ever since then, it's like part of us, part of the group, half of the group couldn't go.
Yeah.
So it's
forgot it was a different day, you know.
Or they had to work.
Yes.
Or they thought they had COVID or whatever.
Yes.
So it's gonna be nice to have the gang back together. I think. So we're excited. But Mark, before we get into the show, we should talk about East of the River Comic Book Collectible Show this Sunday.
Yes, at American Legion on Route 5, right next to the Dunkin' Donuts, across from the burned out Ardioli Dodge building, or down the street from the burned out Ardioli Dodge building.
10 a.m. to 3 p.m.
10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Early bird starts at 9 a.m. and it's
$3.
I got to keep track because there's two ones I'm helping with the doors now, so it's like I can't keep track of which ones.
You're working the door at this one.
I'll be working the door at this one. I'll be at the door. $3. Well, I wait till Scott just tells me day of, and then I just do it.
He says it on the flyer.
I don't need to know that until day of.
You should know that if you're collecting money.
Well, I know. He'll tell me day of. I'll be like, how much is it? And he'll be like, here. I'm like, okay, thanks.
$3, $1.
$1 at the door. There you go. 9 to 10, and then after that, it's $1.
Yeah, it should be good. Should be a real good one. I'm gonna have
the door.
I'm gonna have a lot of new toys. I'm gonna be selling. I went to my first auction since 2019.
Did you go to the Golden Gavel?
I did. It was a toy auction last Saturday.
I would have went.
Well, I don't know if you're into that. You're not into auctions, the auction house.
Yeah, I am. I've gotten into it. I don't go to them. I've never been to one, but I'd like to experience one.
Well, I didn't know. Me and Allison, I was like, "Oh, we're going." So we went. And
I'm a huge Antique Roadshow show. This has become like I got the PBS Living app.
Yeah.
After my mom passed away, I dived deep into that Roots show, learn about your Roots show. I don't know why. Like I just all of a sudden like got deep into that, and the only way you could watch it on PBS Living. So I got that app, and now it's like Antique Roadshow Mondays is our thing now at the house. Claire and I watch multiple episodes.
Well, the auction's every Thursday, Mark.
Yeah. Well, next time there's a toy one, let me know.
I'll let you know. We went. I filled the whole paper up. They called me on Monday. I won 4 lots.
Nice.
I'm going to be selling probably half of it. Half of it is stuff I wanted.
Yeah.
So I will have some cool stuff. I will be selling.
We'll talk after the show's over and see which I want. before you sell it all.
Well, you'll see. You'll see.
I know. I don't want to like get like a same like public like option. I want to be in the, I think I earned some privileges to know what's going to be available.
You do know you'll be at the East of the River show early.
Yeah, but if I can get it beforehand and not have to wait to see it day of, why not? Why would I not want that as your best friend? That should be something I should be able to have that option.
All right. We'll do an auction afterwards.
I don't want an auction. I don't have to be an auction. I want to just buy it from you. You jerk.
I don't know. I mean, I don't really know if you're going to be that interested in what I have, but
we'll talk about it later.
All right.
I might have some stuff for you to sell for me as well.
All right. Well, I got plenty of good stuff. So it should be a good show. This Sunday, I plastered the internet with the flyer. Yes. I plastered Enfield with flyers.
I've seen.
So we should be good.
Yeah.
I'm very excited.
I'm excited. It's like one of my favorite shows of the year.
Yeah. And then we have another show in July in Manchester.
Which I will not be at. Andrew's very sad about it.
Yeah, Andrew's show I'm very excited for. Oh, he's heartbroken. That's the rumor.
So Marc, he's like, "Oh, I'm heartbroken. You're not gonna be there. I wanted to see you." I'm like, "Well, I'll see you at Scott's show." He's like, "Oh, okay, that's fine."
Before we jump into news, let's talk about our week. I'll let you go first, Marc. How was your week? Anything worth noting?
Yeah, this past over the weekend was the second race of the kart series that I run. We were in Poughkeepsie. So Claire went to school in Poughkeepsie.
Oh, that's cool.
So the Culinary Institute is located right in that town, in that area, or Hyde Park technically, but whatever. So we went. It's like the next town over from Poughkeepsie. So she came up with us, Josh and I, and we had separate rooms. Josh and I were in one room. Claire was in a different room. That's not true, but anyways, so we went around Saturday night. We went up Saturday because the race was on yesterday. And we tooled around Poughkeepsie, and Claire, we went to the Hyde Park area where her school is, and she showed us we could like see it through the trees because you can't like get on campus unless you have like a reservation and the whole thing. It was the whole rigmarole she didn't want to go through. But we drove around and she showed us all her old haunts and all the bars and stuff she used to hang out at, and different like roller rinks and like drive-in movie theater that's right on the side of the road that they have. It's very old-timey towny, which is kind of cool. Yeah. And then we went to the Ever-Ready Diner, which is like the place she used to go anytime like her parents would come and visit. They'd go to that diner. And we ate there, and that was fun because she was talking about when that happened, and my mom was she loved going to diners, so we talked about that. So it was a nice little like thing to hang out, and it was fun to hang out with Josh a little bit. Yeah, diners are a good time. Yeah. I mean, and just hanging out with Josh for outside of everything else that's been going on. It's been nice. It was nice to, have a good time and relax and not have to worry about any of their stuff. So so we did that. That was fun. Came back yesterday after the races and everything. And besides that, not much else going on. Just, doing the regular work week stuff. Getting ready for vacation coming up. When's your vacation? The week of July 12th. Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be here on the Monday, but I'll be not here, but I'll be in town on the Monday. Gotcha. So we can still do the show on the Monday if we're able to. Well, the few things I got to talk about will lead to conversation for both of us. So I think this is going to be good. Okay. I finished Letterkenny. Oh, yay. Appreciation Day. So good. Such a good episode. That last season was really good. I loved how the season finale kind of tied in to going into Shorsey. Yes. I thought that was great. And I just finished Shorsey this morning. Oh. What a great season. I'm assuming we're getting a season 2 the way it ends. I don't want to spoil it. Yes. I was getting a season 11 of Letterkenny as well. Yeah, probably at the end of the year or next year. Yeah. I love these shows, and I can't. The last episode of Shorsey, I was waiting so long because I didn't want it to end. Yeah.
I miss the characters already.
They're so quick, like the Shorsey ones. The Letterkenny's a little bit longer, but Shorsey seems like it's a quicker speed.
But the show that's kind of taken its place is I told you about Our Flag Means Death on HBO Max.
I've tried it.
You didn't like it?
I don't not like it. It's just I don't know if it's I don't know.
You go beyond the first episode, or you just
watch no, I've gone through, like, I'm pretty much half, like, almost.
Oh, wow. You're further than me.
3/4 of the way through the season.
I watched the pilot, and I love the pilot.
Yeah, I think I'm still in the first season.
There's only one season.
Oh, okay. They announced the season 2 is coming. Yeah. That's what it was.
Yeah.
But no, so I'm like 3/4 of the way through. I might have gotten to the end of the season. I can't remember. But it's just, it gets funny in parts. But it just was, I don't know. It wasn't as, like, funny as Letterkenny for me, but it was.
No, I think it's different, but I like quirky. That humor.
It's quirky, yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I watched the first episode. I liked it a lot, but I was like, I'm going to wait till I finish Letterkenny and Shorsey before I go back in.
Yeah, it's good. It's just, I don't know. It's a less funny Beyond the or What We Do in the Shadows.
Well, it's different.
It's that same kind of humor, though, but it's not
the same kind of humor. But
it's not like, yeah.
I got to get back into What We Do in the Shadows. I still have. I still have to watch season 2. I got to get back.
Season's like coming out like next week, I think, or something.
I think you're right.
Yeah.
Another show, which oddly, years ago when it first came out, I kind of poo-pooed it. I watched the first episode. It's not for me. But I find myself really into it now is Orville.
Oh my God, the new season is amazing.
Well, I just started season 1.
My gosh.
I'm already 5 episodes in.
How are you not know this? How have you not watched Orville? It is so good.
What I said was
it's like Seth MacFarlane's love letter to the original Star Trek.
No, I know, but years ago when it first came out, I watched the very first episode and I was like, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And I never went back.
I remember.
Recently, I was like, I'm going to give Orville a second chance because I see it's coming back for Hulu exclusively. Yeah. So I watched the first episode again, and I was like, what was wrong with me? I really enjoyed that. Yeah. Then I watched episode 2, and I was like, that was awesome.
Yes.
3, I'm like, okay, I'm loving the show. I love it. I like the subtle bit of humor, but the Star Trek Next Generation feel.
Yes.
It is more Star Trek than current Star Trek is.
Yeah. It's addicting too.
Yeah.
And it is like one of the things I've like come to value more now since he's not alive anymore is Norm Macdonald's humor.
Well, as the Blob.
Yeah. And I think I refound Norm Macdonald recently. Like, I don't know. I know like the special came out on Netflix, Nothing Special. And there's another one of like the guys like round table discussing Norm Macdonald.
Yeah.
Kind of like found those. And I think it's like reconnected me to Norm Macdonald's comedy. I never was a big Norm Macdonald fan when he was like outperforming.
Oh, he was one of my favorites on SNL.
When he was on SNL, I was into it, but I don't know. I think I just like lost the connection somehow. But when Orville came out, I like refound it and I reconnected to Norm Macdonald. And now that he's gone, it's even more like how hilarious he was.
Yeah, I loved his blob alien character.
Yeah.
By the time I finish season 1 and 2, I'm assuming season 3 will be all the way out because it's weekly.
Yes. Yeah, they're like 3 or 4 episodes in now.
Yeah. And man, yeah.
And he was in season 3. He had filmed all of season 3, I guess, before he passed.
It's just voiceovers, yeah.
Yeah. So they'd already done all that stuff. So
that's cool.
He is in season 3.
That's good to know.
I do a tribute to him at the beginning of the season and everything.
Yeah, I rediscovered it and I really like it. So it's one of my new favorite shows right now.
Yeah, no, it's great. I love it.
And tomorrow, my favorite band drops their summer album. Weezer is dropping their summer album. Huh?
You're right there.
Yeah.
It's like you're looking for something in your beard or something.
No, it's so soft. I just like I'm trying to get it really low. That's my new thing. Trying to get
it had gotten long. I know that we're sidetracking here, but it might have gotten very bushy on the sides. Like it grew out on the sides before this part started growing. So I was mowing the lawn, like last time I was mowing the lawn, and it was just like drenched in sweat and it was just like dripping. And I was like not tooting my own horn, but since I've lost some weight, like my neck is not as wide.
Yeah.
So it like drained, like the sweat runs down my neck and like gets like in my collar, and then my collar like rubs my neck and it bothers me. So I was like, I got to trim it down and get rid of it. Well, I was like, "Hi, your beard was so good." I'm like, I can't.
It is summertime. It's hard to have a beard.
It's getting tough to, yeah.
Yeah.
It gets too warm, and then like it's like itchy and.
But yeah, tomorrow.
Man issues. Hashtag
man
issues.
Tomorrow, brand new Weezer. I'm super excited. They're putting it out for my birthday, which is fantastic.
Yes. Don't forget, everybody. Tomorrow's Bryan's birthday, so make sure you flood his Facebook with happy birthday, Bryan Man.
Oh man, yeah. I'm turning
years old.
43.
Hey.
Isn't it weird that we started?
The number of the king, Bryan.
Yeah,
literally the number of the king. Richard Petty was number 43 when he raced. So they call him the king of NASCAR. So literally it's the number of the king.
Isn't it weird to think we started doing radio stuff when I was
20 something?
In my 20s. We were both in our 20s.
Oh God.
24, 25 maybe?
Yeah. Isn't it weird? Next month Mariah will be 29 years old.
And Mariah was 7 years old when she came into the radio station.
Yes.
And she said to me, "Hit me."
Yeah.
"Hit me." And I'm like, what is your problem?
She was 7. That was her problem.
7.
That was her problem. She was 7. That's what kids at 7 years old want.
I want to say she didn't mean like strike her in the face. She was like hit her on the arm. Like she was trying to prove that she could take pain.
Yeah, she was at that weird age where they like want to show like they're
tough.
They're able to hang with the bigger kids.
And nobody hit her. We laughed.
Yes, because they have like that weird thing where they're like, this is what you need to do to prove to bigger kids that you're tough, is you need to be hit.
I guess.
I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird.
I remember that age when that was the same thing where you like hang out with the 6th graders. You want to like, I'm tough. Yeah, I can handle it, and that means you accept me into your tribe. Okay. That's very back right now. You're like, what is wrong with us? What
is wrong? Yeah,
it's a weird human thing that connects that.
So bizarre.
Yes.
Anyway, so I'm excited.
It's even more strange as a brother to be like, don't, please stop. Why?
What?
It's even weirder as the brother of when that's happening.
Yeah.
To be like, why? Stop. This is weird. You're weirding out my friend and making him feel strange.
We all felt strange in that moment.
Fun with younger siblings.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on. I did finish Stranger Things.
Oof.
It
was a rough season.
Fantastic, man. I'm excited. We're excited to see what happens in July. I guess we should wait for our final. We can talk about the whole thing when it comes out.
There's a lot to talk about. Like it's a lot of stuff. So it's like hard to like break it up and to not have its own show, which maybe we can do like the week before the final 2 episodes come out. Just spend the whole show talking about this part of the season to like recap before we go into the final 2.
That would be next week.
Yeah, so
they're going to July 1st,
which is good because this week is the final Obi-Wan. So
yeah,
which if it's going to have to be a humdinger because of what's going on in that show.
But yeah, Stranger Things was by far one of my favorite things I've seen on television.
They're going to be long too.
2 hours each, I think, for the 2 finale episodes.
Like each episode's been a movie.
Yes.
Basically.
Oh yeah. And everybody, the acting, the writing, the production, it's like the standard, like the best thing Netflix has put out in a long time.
Well, it's the only thing Netflix puts out at this point. It's like all they got, basically.
They put out something like literally every week.
I know, but I mean, it's the only good thing they put out.
Yeah, this is very true.
Is their tentpole at this point?
It's
the only thing holding Netflix together is Stranger Things.
Well, there's other things. There's other things that are popular.
I mean, 95% of it's Stranger Things.
Yeah.
But no, you could just like the thought process of getting to the end of it, and then like feeling dumb and being like, how did I not like connect these things to get to where we are at the end of that last episode of the first season?
I had a hunch that the helper was going to be someone important, and then when you find out he's number one, but then you also find out
I figured that part out. I figured that part out easy enough. That was kind of obvious. It's like, well, he's got to be the only kids that they showed were two whatever. They never showed one. It would make sense the orderly that is helping her would be one, but then the connection to the Creel, and then that whole thing, and that the Upside Down wasn't invented by Vecna, it was basically invented by 11. I was like, holy crap.
It was a humdinger of an ending. Yes. I loved it. I'm like, what are they going to do? So good. Well, so good.
Yeah.
So only bit of news because we got to talk about Obi-Wan.
Yes.
But so
I've also watched, before we get into your news, I also watched Ms. Marvel, which I think is one of the smartest things Marvel has done as a whole in a long time. Because this is their way of bringing a whole new generation of fans into the Marvel Universe.
Yeah, a younger generation.
He's doing such a great job. Like my niece, who's like 12, like this is her like gateway drug basically to the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
This show, because this is like, it's so well done and it's so geared to that age group in such a smart way. And the character is so likable that it's like such an easy, like, here's an easy little way for you to welcome you into the Marvel Universe. I was like, wow, they're so well done. And the visuals and the way that they're shooting it and the way they're using text messaging in the like emojis and everything in like the storytelling and the way they're using like background imagery of like murals on the side of buildings that forward the story and everything.
That's cool.
It's visually like, it's for an adult, it's a great show visually to go and see, and like a whole new way of storytelling. Basically, it's very comic book-esque storytelling.
Yeah,
which is really cool to see. So I'm watching it because I've tried to mention it to my niece to try to get her to watch it, so that way, because she seemed interested in it. So, and she's very artistic, and she got into honors arts at her school. So I'm trying to like gear her towards watching it to be like, hey, here's like a possible entry point not only into something I'm interested in Marvel, which he's kind of interested in, but also if you're wanting to go into art, here's like an option, animation and that kind of thing, because she's very much into the anime stuff. So
that's cool.
Trying to direct her in that direction. I'll have something to talk to you about. And I'll actually understand it. Anime stuff, I have no clue what you're talking about. It all goes right over my head.
People, the younger generation loves the anime.
Yeah, that's why I watched Attack on Titan. I was trying to, because she showed interest in it. So I was like trying to,
Did you finish it?
Yeah, I'm up to the newest season. I haven't watched the newest season yet, but I watched it.
Well, speaking of Marvel, Mark. I
don't get any of it, but it was all
right. It's been released that Marvel's Thunderbolts are happening. It's
which I had said before. I think I mentioned on the show, and I've told Matt Ryan the same thing. I thought that was where we're at.
Well, no, I think we mentioned, we weren't sure it was me, Thunder. Maybe we did, but like if the Baron Zemo is the actor is going to be involved.
Yes.
So the thought process is that Countess, Juliette Louis-Dreyfus's character,
gonna recruit the like U.S. agent and all that. It was kind of heading in that direction.
That's we've already seen. Is it Yvonne or Florence's Pugh's character?
Yes, Black Widow
sister
2.0 kind of.
Her sister.
Yeah,
it's Yvonne.
Yes,
Ivana
Romanoff.
And then Wyatt Russell's John Walker.
Yes, U.S.
So now we kind of know where this is going. And they're kind of like the version of Suicide Squad. They're wannabe heroes. They're not like, you know, they're kind of like the lower ground heroes. They want to be the Avengers, but they're not. And there's also talks that potentially, because we've seen Tim Roth's Abomination show up now twice. He showed up in 10 Rings. And then in the She-Hulk trailer, he shows up
again,
that there could be a possibility he could be part of the Thunderbolts too. That is just speculation right now. But I mean, it's interesting because it's something we've wondered where these characters are going.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll find out more, but Thunderbolts could be the next big team up movie with these kind of lower level heroes, wannabe heroes. I think it's interesting because we need, I kind of feel like a lot of MCU people were really like thirsty for a kind of a team up movie. It feels like it's been forever, even though it hasn't been. 2019 was.
And the cool thing too is like reading, it's probably the same story you're reading, which I just found on IGN.
Yeah.
Is that they could like connect it to the fact that it's called Thunderbolts in honor of General Thunderbolt Ross from the Hulk thing.
Right, and he died. The actor died.
Yeah. But they could still say it's named in his honor. That's why they have, like, this was his thing that he started or launched Julia Louis-Dreyfus into recruiting these people to bring up this team, and she names it Thunderbolts because of him. So that'd be like the nice like tie around of the MCU thing.
Right. The same guy who wrote the screenplay for Black Widow is going to be writing this, and they got Paper Town's Jake Schreier to be directing.
This will be a movie, not a.
Yeah, it's going to be a movie.
Not a Marvel, like not a Disney.
Not a show.
Yeah.
So I think this could be Marvel's Suicide Squad in a way. You get these oddball, you get these not fit for primetime superheroes. I think it should be really good. I'm wondering if we're going to get more teasers of the Countess recruiting more people.
Countess, I'm assuming she'll pop up. Like the way to do it, the way I think they might do it is if they're doing it in a movie, they could be using the Marvel TV universe as a way to populate the team by like having like her show up in the different shows and recruit the villains of that show. Like I could see her like recruiting like Kingpin from the Hawkeye show, or like.
Yeah, but they're not villains. They're still, they see the people.
No, I know, but like they're
really villains.
I mean like Echo. She could recruit Echo in the Echo show, which is coming out next year.
Yeah, this movie might
recruit her to be in that group of the Marvel, like the Marvel Universe team of Thunderbolts. You know, it could be like that kind of thing where she like appears to recruit like the sub, like not the villains, but like the characters who are portrayed as the villains but aren't really the villains.
We've already seen her recruit. She was already on
US Agent.
Hawkeye. I mean, not Hawkeye. Winter Soldier. Winter Soldier.
Well, she wasn't Hawkeye. She recruited Florence Pugh in that.
Yes.
That was before the Hawkeye show. She did it in the Black Widow movie.
Yes.
She had returned to recruit her kind of thing.
Yeah.
So
we'll see where it goes. I thought it was interesting.
Yeah. It makes sense because I think that's where I thought that's where they were heading was Thunderbolts. Because the kind of way they were setting up the Marvel shows was that like direction kind of.
I do agree. All right, Mark.
Team of anti-heroes, as I like to call them.
Yeah. I mean, they're kind of like, you know, they want to be cool, but they're just not.
They're like they're not villains, but they're also not heroes, kind of thing.
Yeah.
You know? Like U.S. Agent was a hero, wanted to be a hero, but just couldn't hack it, so it wasn't the bad guy either, but just wasn't good.
Right.
So it was like that weird dynamic.
All right, Mark. I caught up with Obi-Wan just the other day, 4 and 5.
Yes.
The finale is on Wednesday.
Whew, the end of 5. Wow.
Really, I found it to be underwhelming about what they did with the end of 5. I was like,
end of 5 to me.
We know nothing's going to happen, so I'm not that.
No, well, the thing that I've enjoyed about this series, and I think that the universe of Disney, the universe Disney is portraying during this time frame, to me is aligning. One thing it's doing very well is aligning Darth Vader to the wider storytelling we've seen of Star Wars over the years, like through comic books, all these other things.
Yeah.
Is that Darth Vader is a bad person.
Yeah, we know that.
He's a bad guy. Like in the movies, it's always been like Darth Vader has just been Darth Vader. He's been an ominous presence. He was doing things. He had like the thing where he was redeemed and all that. But at this time frame, he's a terrible person. And they're doing a very good job of showing how bad the Empire is. Because they've always kind of made it as like bad, but just like, you know, just there. They're not like really doing anything that really warrant you to.
Well, the original movies, we saw mostly the Emperor pulling the strings.
Yeah.
We're actually seeing Vader work on his own and doing horrible things.
Yes.
Which I agree is the strong point. I think 4 and 5 were probably the better episodes out of this whole series so far.
No, for sure.
The action has been better.
Reva's character
has strange choices.
Well, I think they didn't do a very good job. They waited too long to give us Reva's reasoning.
Which we already predicted. We literally predicted.
Which everyone predicted. But it was like one of those things where it's like, why are you holding out on us when we all can figure it out easily? That she is one of the younglings that was that survived.
And then Obi-Wan's like, you're not bringing me to him. I'm bringing him to you. And then, like, we knew that too. We knew this.
Yeah.
But I'm not 100% on board with her reasoning. It's like, okay, she survived the younglings being killed. So why are you going after Obi-Wan? To me, it's still not clear. Like she wants to see Lord Vader.
She's going after Obi-Wan because she knows that Anakin is his Padawan. Like she said, and she said it in the episode of 5. He was your Padawan. Why did you not stop him?
How could he?
But no one knows that he had kids. Even Darth Vader himself doesn't know that he had kids. So
no, we don't.
Time of the movie, like from episode 3, at the end of episode 3, the battle happens between Anakin and Obi-Wan.
Yeah.
Anakin gets beat. He throws Padme to the ground, and that starts the fight.
Yeah.
He thinks he killed Padme because he's told by the Emperor that he killed Padme.
Yes, that's right. Right.
So he doesn't know that she had the kids.
Yeah, but he still doesn't know right now.
No, I know. So I think then Obi-Wan can't say to Reva, like, I couldn't be there because I was off helping Padme.
Well, my favorite part of this whole series is the communication device. What's his name shows up, literally dropping names. I'm like, why would you say any of this? Then I'm like, okay, that's going to fall into someone's hands.
Yes.
And of course, what's his name drops it. It was he drops it. He looks back. And I'm like,
just pick it up.
Pick it up? Nope. He runs.
I was right away.
She gets it, and you hear, Tatooine. You hear all the bits. I'm like, come on. Why would he call and be like, I'm going to give out all the information that's super secret? I was like, no.
Because I don't think it's like, and I think it's a misdirect too, because I don't think that's going to have anything really to do with the major part of the story of this last episode.
Well, it ends on Luke's face. We know she's going.
But you know that Darth Vader doesn't know where Luke is or who Luke is.
No, but Reva now does.
Reva does. So it just means I think it's going to be that Obi-Wan's going to have to go back and defeat Reva.
Now, how the hell is he going to get there in time? That's the other part. These people just show up. This show is very bizarre where people just show up like this. So he's now stuck on this little tiny spacecraft that doesn't have warp speed anymore. And the guy's like, and they're right behind us.
Yeah.
And then we have one episode left. She's going to go down to Tatooine because she knows there's something.
Well, remember, she's on a planet where they don't have any ships. So she's got to figure out a way to get off that planet.
She has her ship.
Well, I'm assuming they would take it. They wouldn't just leave her ship there.
She has her ship, and they said they're right behind us. So she's
not with them, though.
She'll have her own. She took her own ship.
Well, that's what I'm saying. I don't think that they would just leave her ship there. Like the Grand Inquisitor and Darth Vader wouldn't just turn back around and be like, "Oh, well, just leave her ship there, boys. We'll grab another one out of the warehouse when we get back to the base."
The way this show works, sometimes it doesn't surprise me. She'll just show up. Next episode, she's just going to be there.
Well, I think it might be like an end of episode, like towards the end of the episode, where she's going to get back to Tatooine at the same time Obi-Wan gets back to Tatooine, and they have like what you don't know about because you haven't seen it, but they did like I think it was in Rebels or Clone Wars, I can't remember which one, where Obi-Wan fights Darth Maul.
Yeah.
Like that scene will happen where they have like the battle in the desert where he takes her out basically. And then he goes back into hiding again.
Yeah. And then they'll have a season 2 where Leia will get kidnapped again.
Well, I think it'd be something that'd be a different thing. Because I don't think they'll touch on that.
It's not official.
It's not official yet. But I mean, they could drop at the end of this episode. They could be like,
I don't know how I feel about it. Like, I kind of feel like, do we really?
I think it would be
original.
A better way to do a season 2 would be a time jump.
Or just no.
Well, no, because I think if they did like a time jump and it was Obi-Wan gets dragged back in to help Leia, but not in like a way of her being kidnapped, but it's like the beginning of the Rebel Alliance and something happens where they come across a Jedi or some Jedi issue happens where they need him to come and help them with it.
Yeah,
but I mean, I think there might be something to do a season 2 with, but not in the same story timeline. They could move it forward a little bit or something, but
yeah. I mean, listen, I think
it's a good show.
I think you enjoy it more than me. I like it when it works, but sometimes I'm just kind of like, I don't know. I'm kind of.
Well, I think there's like I enjoyed
50-50 on it.
I enjoyed the flashback part of it of Anakin and Obi-Wan.
That was nice.
The training and like explaining the reasoning behind Anakin's actions, kind of, and how he acts as Darth Vader, where it kind of explains like why Darth Vader doesn't succeed at the end of the story. Overall story is because he never could not like give in and just say that he doesn't know. Like he's not like he let his anger and aggressiveness take over and not like he has no like real direction.
Well, yeah, I think we all know that.
But I mean, I did a good job explaining that to a different, like there's a newer audience that doesn't know these things. So it's like,
yeah. I mean,
the scene alone, I think for me, the thing that's made the show for me so far is just the thing that this alone is the scene with Darth Vader pulling the ship down.
Yeah, that was cool. I will admit that was
that
my
whole
favorite
part, and the part with him fighting Reva was, almost like, I almost want to say verbatim what happened, or close to verbatim what happened in Force Unleashed.
Yeah.
Like the and even in Fallen Order, like it was that level of Darth Vader that we see. It's like for the first time on like live action.
Yeah. Listen, I think the action stuff has picked up. The stupidest moment was Obi-Wan with a trench coat with a little girl, and literally nobody notices. It was like I felt like I was watching.
Well, I mean, that's very.
It was so like he might as well just put a little mustache on too.
Yes.
Oh, I am just sneaking in a little girl. You know, I was like, sometimes this show is ridiculous. I liked
Star Wars.
Yeah, but the writing.
There's sometimes it's the grand scheme of things, like I've said to multiple people, it's Star Wars. What do you want? Highbrow and intellectual storytelling.
Listen, I don't think that's an excuse for bad writing.
There were some things even in the originals, like Han Solo and Luke wearing the stormtrooper outfits.
Yes, but you're dressed up as you're
not like covered. The helmet was bopping around like a pinball during that scene.
That's way better than a trench coat. I don't know.
It's one of those scenes where it's like everyone's too worried about what they're doing to worry about what everyone else is doing.
I guess. I mean, I think I realized the writing on this show just isn't as good as a Mandalorian. And I just have to let that go. It was
just a nice little story that they're telling. Like a little side, like little thing, like, hey, remember you like these guys when they played these characters?
Yeah. I think I've gotten to the point personally in Star Wars where I like the original new stuff, and I just kind of like, all right, Solo, it was okay movie.
Yeah.
I didn't need it. Obi-Wan show right now, I'm like, it's okay. I don't need it. Like, I like the new original stuff. I like stuff I don't know anything about.
Well, that's the thing too, is I think it's just
I'm just
out on the original storyline of Star Wars.
I don't need a show
where we can
every little bit of information.
Have stories set in that time frame, but doesn't have to involve any of the main characters. Like you could have done this Obi-Wan show without Obi-Wan, and it'd been fine. Like without that connection, if Obi-Wan wasn't in the show at all, and it was just a story about Leia when she was younger and she got kidnapped, and some other person just went out to save her, like a bounty hunter of some sort, like Mandalorian type, was sent out on a mission to save her.
Maybe.
You just made the original character that they could use to translate into the Mandalorian.
They could have made one show if Ewan McGregor was younger, like maybe before he met Anakin, when he was in training with Qui-Gon. That would have been cool.
Yeah.
For me, I don't really care about stuff I can use my imagination for.
Yeah.
Like, this is just like filling in gaps needlessly. Like the Solo movie was like needlessly giving us information that we already knew.
No, just trying to draw inside the lines without
checking boxes, checking boxes. And this show, like, I listen, I enjoy 90% of it. There's a 10% of it that's just a little off.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
To be quite honest too, we can go through the show on Wednesday and come back next week and be completely opposite direction. We could be the whole opposite, be like, holy crap, that was amazing.
Yeah.
It's Star Wars. They've done that to us before, where we've been like, the show's, like Boba Fett. The show's, cool, but
the Boba Fett got better.
Holy crap.
When Mandalorian showed up.
Yeah.
When Mando showed up, that show got so much better.
Yeah. So you don't know. Something could happen in this next episode. Yoda could show up. And we'd be like, holy crap, Yoda's there. And now
I think we're going to get a Qui-Gon.
Yeah. So if something like that happens, the whole thing changes, and it's a great show, and we're all about it again.
Now, I would say I think episode 4 on my scale of 1 to 10, I'd give it an 8, and then I actually give a 9 to episode 5.
Yeah.
My first 9 for the series. And I thought 5 was really well done. Now there was, like I said, I just forgive it for those moments. I just have to ignore it.
Yeah.
It was great to see Anakin and back with them, sparring off. That was a great scene. Darth Vader, kick-ass scenes that we've seen in other bits of media, but never live action, which is really cool. So we'll see how it ends. I don't feel that compelled by the whole Luke thing because we know nothing is going to happen to Luke. So
yeah,
I don't know. I guess we'll find out. All right, Mark. What are your score for the final these 2 episodes?
I'm still gonna I'll put 4 at a 7 and 5 at an 8.
Wow. That's weird that I gave it a higher score than you.
Wow, really?
Yeah, I gave 4 an 8, and I give 5 a 9.
Wow.
I really like these 2 episodes comparatively to the first half.
I think I'm harsher on Star Wars than you are.
What are you talking about? I'm way more harsh. I mean,
on the grading scale, I mean, I expect bigger things to be happening.
I mean, like I said, I think the show, I put it in the category.
5, I mean, the only thing that 5 might, if we were getting technical, it'd be an 8.95 for 5. Only because of the Darth Vader stuff at the end with pulling the ship down and all that stuff. Besides that, the Grand Inquisitor reappearing, we all figured that was happening.
Yeah.
That's the thing. The show is very predictable. The show is very predictable.
So predictable.
Yeah.
I mean, for me, though, I think if they were to do an Obi-Wan season 2, I really wouldn't be that excited for it.
Well, it depends on what the story would be. Be more what the story would be. I mean, I like the story, the explaining why or how Leia knows who Obi-Wan is.
That all this information.
No, but at least it's a nice little touch to know oh, this is why Leia knows who Obi-Wan is and knows that he's the only person that can help her at this time frame. So she reaches out to him, and when she says these things, what that's about.
I know.
The same thing with Rogue One. There's had that little tidbit of, we know the rebels got the plans for the Death Star. We don't know how they got the plans. It was a one-line mention thing.
I know.
Many people died to get us this information, and now we kind of know how they got that information.
Yeah, I think.
So it's like they're taking their idea of doing the Star Wars stories, and now just turning them into Marvel shows as opposed to making full movies out of them.
Yeah, I understand, but
that's all they're doing.
For me, I like new stuff, so that's why I think I love Mando.
The other issue too is the newer stuff. I don't need to
know all this stuff.
The new stuff is so good. That's hard to take the older stuff and make it as good as the newer stuff.
Well, I think if they had Filoni and they actually had the same writers, this would be better. They don't have those people. So the writer for this doesn't really have a good pedigree. If you look at his IMDb page, it is not the best.
It's not. It's
not the best. Yeah. So I don't know why they picked this guy.
But to go back to what you were saying, the next thing is Andor, which I think could be really well done.
I hope.
And then the next thing after that is Ahsoka, which is Dave Filoni's baby, basically. He's doing everything for it. So
yeah, I mean, I'm excited for that because I don't know much about it.
Yeah. You haven't watched the cartoons.
No. And Andor, it looks good. I hope it's good, but we'll see.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mark, I think we should wrap it up. Don't forget this Sunday, East of the River Comic Book and Collectible Convention, 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. 10 a.m. is regular admission.
Pre-admission early bird is $3.
Yes.
That's an American Legion Hall in Enfield on Enfield Street, located right next to Dunkin' Donuts.
Yes.
And across from the produce store.
Right.
Yes.
Yes. So it should be an awesome show. The weather's going to be nice. Come on down.
I'll be there working the door. So come by and say hello. I'll be the first person you see when you walk in and the last person you see when you walk out.
Mark's working the door. I'm working the pole. So,
hey, just like it should be.
Whoa!
Yeah. So Brian, have all a bunch of new toys you'll be selling. There's gonna be a bunch of other cool vendors there as well. So come on out, check it out, and we'll see you all there. And as always, be safe, be kind,
rewind.